Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you receive this message. It is another amazing day in paradise. Today is Wednesday, August 31st. It is the last day of Black Business Month. And as I was sitting with God this morning, I have put out so much information and being loquacious. It seems that I tend to put out a lot of information and so I had to go to God and say, what haven't I said? You know? Um, and so just to be clear, my son and I, we are Love Enterprises for now. Um, and Love Enterprises is hosting a fundraiser on the PayPal Generosity Network. Our goal is $20,000, but we're not just looking for cash, we're also looking for community. And I put that out there to be transparent. Like, if you come on here looking for a feel good message, you're going to get it. But I'm going to tell you what I want first, what I'm looking for. And if that offends you or you're bothered by it, that's okay. I don't mind. But I have to be honest with myself and I want to be honest with you. That's what I'm here for. But I want you to stay to hear the message because there is a message as well. And so, like I said, I was talking with God and I said, what haven't I said? Our 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 fundraiser is at zero, and that doesn't bother me at all because this is actually the second fundraiser, technically the third fundraiser that I've launched. And so for the first fundraiser and on PayPal, you have 1,000 characters to write your story and 30 days to promote it. And so at first I was like, the first one that I started was in the midst of us moving. It was an idea that was generated by somebody else. And I did it in the midst of us moving, and I did it from a place of fear, and I did it from a position of us moving from poverty to prosperity and all this other stuff. And I was like, after I did it from a place of flight or flight, I was in my sympathetic system as well. And I wasn't paying attention to when the date I had set for it was ending. And with PayPal, the date you set to end, they shut your fundraiser down. I didn't know that. I was like, so I had all these. This person who had suggested it had paid for all these flyers. I had like 250 flyers. I had to go back. I had to pay to print out new QR codes, and I had to paste them all the flyers. So that first one generated $50. The second revision of it generated $600, and then I had two people invest privately. And that gave us enough money for us to get settled, which is why you see what you see. We're in a hotel in an extended stay in Raleigh, and give me the space to move into my ventral vagal. Now, when I talk about sympathetic and ventral vagal, and you don't know what that means, then what I have to say about parent coaching is for you, because you need to be living in your ventral vagal to be living your best life. And so that's the first thing that I want y'all to know is that this campaign right now for my business sitting at zero does not bother me. There's a quote by Les Brown, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to reference it. I know some of it, but I don't know all of it. It says, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you'd gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of the opposition for it, that's where I'm at, y'all. And if you simply go after that thing that you want with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. Okay, side note, I don't have this memorized at all. Maybe just the beginning. We're going to keep going. If neither cold, poverty, famished, and gaunt, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. And I love this quote. And one of the things that I realized is that I'm not willing to work that hard. Because in order for me to work that hard to get what I want, that would mean that I would be sacrificing my son. That would mean I would be sacrificing time with my son. And he's not worth it. He's not worth it. And that's why I'm reaching out to y'all. What I have is important enough that the community should be involved anyway. And if y'all are too busy to be involved, then there is a brilliance in the homeless community that will create and sustain this, but I need to get them into a position that they're able to. And so I'm not worried if you're not able to contribute your time, but I am requesting that you contribute money because you have something that a lot of homeless people don't have, or else they would be in homes, right? And that leads me to my why. When all is said and done, everything that I'm doing right now is that so at the end of this year, I can transfer the leadership, the CEO, the Chief Emancipation Officer positions to somebody else, to three individuals actually, who will run L.U.V Enterprises, the investment company. And so that I can become a world schooler and chief bushel blaster, and wisdom will be an ambassador for love. And as what our position will be is to travel to different communities and set up our love hubs. And while we're in those communities, we will do our schooling, because my son is awesome. He is the super ultra mega coolest child ever. And lately, it's taken me a while. I have realized that I've been slightly distraught at his behavior lately. And finally, my parent coaching senses kicked in. And I realized that he was exhibiting behaviors of a child who wasn't getting enough attention. And so he would intentionally do things that he knew would bother me, because if children want attention, it doesn't matter what kind of attention they get, they will do it anyway. They will do it because it gets them attention, whether you like it or not. And I realized that he is needing, seeking, and deserving my attention. And I am needing, seeking, and deserving his. And because of this effort to get things moving, it's going pretty slowly. And he's not getting it. And I'm not getting what I need from him. And so, because time is not promised to anyone, I'm inviting you to contribute to what I'm doing so I can make time more available to everyone, because that's what's going to happen. I got my notes from what God has said. I wanted to say, what in the world? Let me hold on. Where are my notes at? That's all I wrote. Oh, no. Here they go. Okay. After explaining my why, I was led to explain two other things. One is that I choose to be courageous every day. And I wrote this in the chat of a meeting that Jai was holding yesterday, because I had realized it the day before. When I did my Facebook video, I said this. When I did my Facebook introductory video on my first Facebook Live on Monday about launching this campaign being launched. And we were talking about mindset and how mindset is the most important thing that will make you successful in business. And that's when I realized that I choose to be courageous every day, every single day. And I love my God, the God I serve, because he is so awesome. He's just so awesome. Because the walk and talk on the Black History Boot Camp this morning was on Nina Simone. And that is what Morgan and Vanessa, I'm talking like I know these ladies personally. I will one day. But they were talking about Nina Simone, and their whole message was on freedom and what it feels to be free and emancipation. And that's a topic I took notes on that too. I stop my walk sometimes and just stop and rewind and record. But they quoted Nina Simone from an interview that she did, where she was asked, what is freedom? And after saying a few different things, because she started out by saying that freedom is a feeling, that you can't describe it, just like you can't describe what in love feels like, that freedom, that she came around to saying, freedom to me is no fear. And fear, it doesn't mean that fear doesn't exist and that you don't have fear. And this is what Morgan and Vanessa got talking about. I'm telling you, go check out this Black History Boot Camp. But they were at their they implored, they invited, they encouraged every woman, every person that was listening, that whatever it was that they were doing, do something that was fearless for them today. And y'all, this is fearless for me. This is me being fearless. I don't like getting on social media. I don't like talking about my situation that we've been in and things of that nature. But this is what God has called me to do. This is a blessing to me. But I realize it's going to come back as people judging me. And you know what? Something else that was said in the chat yesterday that really struck me is like, yeah, they're gonna judge you. Somebody had written, I feel like because as a parent coach, I don't do things perfectly, and I feel that when people are seeing things that happen, that they're judging me. And someone wrote, they are judging you. Do it anyway. And I was like, well, dang. Thank you, Jai. And thank you to those ladies that were transparent and honest and loving and encouraging, because it's true. Some of y'all are gonna watch this and judge me anyway, and it's okay. That's for you. That's your burden to bear. But if it doesn't fit me, I'm not gonna hold it. Thank you, AW, for that one. I knew that beforehand, but she kind of gave me the wording for it. Um, the other thing that I wanted you to know about what I'm creating, what love is. Um, Let me read what I wrote. The projects, programs, and opportunity that love is creating will A, house the homeless, B, reduce recidivism, C, emancipate the oppressed, and that can look like anything. That is adult and child. And D, heal individuals, families, communities, and nations. So if there was anything that I wanted you to know, that this endeavor will change the world. And I'm going to close with a quote by Steve Jobs because I had a campaign, and it'll probably come back around again in some way, shape, or form, because every idea that God gives me, it circles back around. If it doesn't work one time, it's going to work again. But it was called B3C with me. And the three C's are compassionate, committed, and crazy. And so to close out this, I'm going to tell you the kind of crazy that I am. Steve Jobs says, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for the status quo. Yep, that's me. It says you can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the one thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And I'm that kind of crazy. And actually, there's one more thought, one more quote that I'm gonna leave with you, or a paraphrase of it, because I really don't know this one by heart and I don't have it written down. But Marianne Williamson once said, and it is often attributed to Nelson Mandela, that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light that frightens us, not our darkness. She goes on to say, um, who are you to play small, or something like that. And she said, you are born to manifest the glory of God that is within you. And it's not just within you, it's and with everyone. Your playing small does not serve the world. You are born to make manifest the glory of God within you. And that's what I'm doing. This endeavor has manifested the glory of God that is within me. And I have seen the glory of God within my son. And I just want that for everyone. And there is a quote that I have been working on compiling. I haven't gotten all the pieces yet, but I do know this, that there are 3 levels that we need to attain. One is knowledge of self, one is love of self, and then there's emancipation of self. And until you get all three, you will remain in a state of oppression for whatever reason. And so I invite you that if you have love of self or knowledge of self, that you will work with me to get to your state of an emancipated self, because that's where I am. I am free. I don't have to pretend to be free. It doesn't matter what my finances are, where I'm living at. Right here and in my spirit, I am free. And nobody can take that away from me. Nobody's perception of me can take that away from me. And this is how we heal the world, y'all. Love is the answer. Love is always the answer. And I'm talking about L-O-V-E, but it depends on how you understand L-O-V-E. So I'm going to be clear that L-U-V-E, Love Enterprises, has the answers. We are the solution, and it is always the answer. So thank you in advance for your investment. Check out the links below to get involved. And I say, enjoy creating your amazing day. Peace.